Influencers are building the next billion-dollar brands, and here's why it's important. So this is an article that was released about Jake Paul's new men's care line called W. He launched it last year. He centered it all around the Mike Tyson fights and rolled it out. And what's crazy is this is competing now and going up against Axe and Old Spice and all these kind of like legacy brands that have always just been on the shelves, right? You have all of these like old school established brands that have just always been there. But I think what is changing is the landscape of media and the landscape of the power of influencers and what influencers have, and being able to, how do you take this influence and attention and understanding your demographic and then being able to wrap it up with a product that you're able to sell to the masses, specifically around a CPG brand, right? Consumer packaged goods. So something that people buy all of the time. So deodorant, body wash, it runs out, you got to replace it all the time. It's a really, really good business because people keep buying it over and over once you get them hooked. And so a lot of these influencers are realizing the power that they actually have to be able to kind of create and launch their own brands. And so he did a really good job of just like the aesthetics, right? It's made in America. It's good quality. He put another big thing too to kind of highlight is this. He's pushing it as vitamin infused. So vitamin B, vitamin E, magnesium. And so thinking about how, a lot of these older established brands have a lot of harmful chemicals. If you look at, our food that we have, there's a lot of process and dyes and all these different things. So I'm seeing a lot of influencers shift into healthier ingredients, something more sustainable, kind of shifting more into that process. So for him to be able to tap into that, for not only being able to, look, I got the attention and all of that stuff too, but then also to be able to talk about this is healthier than the other brands, I think is just very smart. He tapped into a bunch of influencers, stuff that fit the demographic. They did a whole campaign rollout. Again, they launched it and centered it around Mike Tyson and his fight. So it was just a really just incredible way to launch it because all of his demographic was literally watching and all the eyes were on him to be able to set this up. And so I think it was just a really great way and a great execution of how it was rolled out and released. He did his activation. So like at the fight, he set this punching bag up, but he shaped it in the face of, or in the shape of his face. So when people come up, they hit the punching bag, but it's in the shape of his face. And so it's a classic Jake Paul move, right? He's the problem child. He loves to be the villain. And so this was just a really creative way in how brands can do kind of like activations and take it to a whole nother level. He also did like these seating kits. So basically partnered with a bunch of different influencers, sent them seating kits, which is custom packaging, basically to tell your story in this unique way. And what was cool about it is he created like AI videos of the people and had them like roll it out and talk about it. So brands thinking about how do you take physical products and bring it into the digital world and create stories around it. So now people can be able to post about it and talk about it. So I think this is a really, really powerful way of just being able to showcase your brand in this digital space. Of course, he did outside media, billboards, different things of that nature, did a bunch of commercials and social content, which is a genius creative move. And what's so crazy about this is he raised a seed round of $14 million. A lot of people seen the potential in him and his reach and his demographic. And so he aligned with, okay, I know a lot of young men follow me. What if we did an Axe style, Old Spice style, men's care line and made it healthier and then centered it around all of this stuff. His whole theme is W, winning and everything like that. So you're going to see a lot of different influencers package stuff up and put things together. But for him to raise $14 million and then one of their co-founders posted this on LinkedIn a month after launch, it's already valued at $150 million. They had some sort of distribution deal with Walmart. I don't know the details of the deal, but it was in every Walmart in the country. So it was just an incredible rollout. Went from $14 million investment to $150 million in value basically in a month, which is crazy and unheard of. And you're going to see things like this keep happening time and time again. He is not the only one that's doing this. If you look at, Kyle and what they've done with Happy Dad, if you're not familiar, they basically launched like a seltzer. And they're just freaking killing it. They had a podcast. They started doing funny videos. It started off with content and then just doing pranks. And then it evolved into this this business empire, $100 million business empire. And it all started from content and posting videos on YouTube and Instagram and stuff like that. And so, again, if you look at what Prime has done, Jake's brother, Logan, with their Prime energy drinks, or Mr. Beast with Beast Burgers and Feastival, These companies are making hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're all created by influencers. And all these influencers create content, and they started somewhere making content, posting videos, and really being able to share with the world of what it was. And so even if you look back at like where Jake Paul started, he started on Vine, just making these videos, just posting comedy. So back then when he did this, do you think if you told him, and he may have seen it, but like, hey, in 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, you're going to be running a $150 million company alone just from the product company, not including your media and all the stuff that you're doing, all from posting content. And you all have to start somewhere in terms of like, everybody starts somewhere in the beginning. And so whatever it is that you're doing, whether you have a small business, whether you're trying to launch a business, whether you're trying to be a content creator, the whole thing that I'm trying to get across in this video is post your content. Just post it. Talk about what you're interested in. Talk about what you like. Talk about the stuff that you're interested in, because you never know where those videos will take you and how you could build on top of that media and that attention, because attention and media is everything. I tell people all the time that media is more important than even the truth. Whoever controls the media controls the narrative and controls the perspective of what the truth is. And that's why media is so freaking important. And so I think if you can think about how do you tell your story, how do you create your unique perspective, how do you share your commentary on whatever it is, post your content, because you never know what's going to happen. And now with algorithms like where TikTok is, before Instagram used to have to amass a ton of following, and then you post content and it goes to your specific followers, which was the old way of how social media worked. And it took a long time to build a following. But now with algorithms like that's on TikTok, you can literally have no followers, post a video, and get 10 million views and completely change your life overnight. So if you look at people like Keith Lee, you look at like all of these different content creators that just started posting content, food reviews, whatever, it's the consistency. It's the consistency, and you build on it. And I think that a lot of times we get caught up in like, we don't know what to post, or, you know, we get caught up in a space where like, you know, we don't know how it's going to all play out, but just start. Like, you can't get to that point if you don't start. And so I would highly suggest, if you're running a small business, if you want to be a content creator, start posting content, start creating content, start posting content, because you never know what it could build and grow into.